Hey guys, welcome to Tell It to Trevor. Today on my podcast, I have a very special interview with one of my good friends, the owner, the founder of
JM Fence Crafters.
This is Jake. I can never pronounce your last name. It's
Mouchet.
Mouchet.
Yeah, it's French. Mm-hmm. A lot of French heritage. Mm-hmm.
Why did you start your business, and what inspired you to enter the industry?
Truthfully, I started this business kind of on a whim, more or less. I was introduced to the installation of fencing industry in my young years. My grandfather um, did it as a trade for his entire life. So he, probably from his early 20s, he started with a company out of Charlotte, and their name's Allison Fence Company. They're still around to this day. They do a lot of large commercial projects. He worked with them his entire life, and on the side, he would install residential fencing on the weekends. So I remember probably installing my first fence when I was 12 years old, helping him. Whether it was just scooping dirt off the ground or whatever, I got introduced very early. So more or less just started the business. Didn't really have a lot going for me at the time, to be completely honest. I knew it was a trade. I didn't achieve my full 4-year degree, so I always liked working outside. So I went right back to it.
What are the core values that guide your business decisions?
Core values?
Yes.
Family's a big one. God first and then family second. Pretty much do everything for my family and my wife just to make sure I can provide.
Yeah.
So I knew that it would be a good avenue for being able to achieve that and provide for her and future family, for future children.
What sets your business apart from the competitors in the market?
More or less, probably because I'm still a smaller organization, so I'm present on almost every project, even if I'm briefly present for only an hour once the project begins, and I may not see that customer until its completion. Different in the sense of that you really get more, I don't know, a more personal feel when you choose our company. You're able to, in a sense, if there's ever an issue, you can always reach me by telephone. You never have to go through, 5 different individuals or a guessing game of who's going to pick up the phone next. I will always be on the other end of that main telephone line.
Who's your ideal customer, and how do you reach them?
Let's see, ideal customer. Ideal customers, really? It's more or less. I don't get them often, to be completely honest, but I like customers that give me creative freedom. We actually kind of became known for a lot of custom fencing, normally traditionally wood based as far as what they're constructed of, and those are some of my best clients. Some that have either hurt our reputation and they give me full total control over creative ability, and they just kind of let me run with it. So those are some of my really good clients. I really enjoy those projects.
What are the most significant challenges you have faced in running your business, and how did you overcome them?
Most significant challenges. How to balance work and home, that life. That's extremely difficult. Even to this day, it's extremely difficult. That's always been difficult to try to find time, or in a sense, for the lack of a better way to say it, shut it off when you go home at night. That's really difficult because when you're the owner, it follows you everywhere, and you always have something that needs to be done. So that's always been a tough one, and I don't really know a good way to navigate that other than just finding the right personnel to help me move the business in the direction of operating without me having so much hands in it.
Yeah. How do you stay relevant and adapt to changes, market trends?
That one's tough, to be completely honest. I'm still, I guess, old fashioned in a sense. A lot of our business is word of mouth and just quality. Quality's always been my number one importance over customer service, and more or less just always delivering the best product you can with the situation you're in is that goes a long way. And it is extremely old fashioned. We do small marketing. We don't spend a lot of money in the marketing department. We do radio ads on AM radio. We take advantage, of course, of social media because it's free of charge for the most part. But that's our big bread and butter. It's just word of mouth. We've always treated everyone very fairly, given fair prices, and just done very high quality work.
Can you share a notable business failure and what lesson did you learn from that?
Business failure. Investing into the wrong people is probably the first thing that comes to mind. If you spend a lot of time on someone that you would hope that may step up one day,
Yeah.
and then let's hypothetically say 12 months, 18 months in, you've got big plans for them, and they kind of steered you in the direction that they're going to move forward. For instance, foreman position within the company. What it entails is a lot of accountability, a lot of leadership. So when you try to dump your knowledge into an individual and train them, to one, help them and make them better, but also benefit your company to help it grow to the next level. When they drop a ball or they just kind of hightail it out of the blue, that's a really tough one. That we've struggled with that a lot. It's hard to keep good personnel in and skilled personnel as well.
If I can get you to pull up 50 seconds on the clock if you got your phone on you.
Yeah, right on my hip.
So, guys, this is my little favorite segment I've been doing for almost a year. It's called Trev Shock. It's a speed round. We're doing those business rapid fire questions.
Okay. All right.
50 seconds.
So there's a lot coming, huh? All right.
Not minutes, seconds.
Good call, man. That would have been.
You would have definitely beat it, but.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I'd have had a little too much time on my hands, right? All right, let's get the seconds. All right.
All right, so you got 6 questions. They're just questions about you.
All right, cool.
All right, after I read the first question.
All right.
Well,
let me go
after,
back.
Yeah.
Oh, after the first question started. Gotcha. All right, cool.
Favorite snack?
Most recent favorite snack?
Yeah.
Peanut butter M&Ms.
Favorite type of soda?
Soda. Oh, Sprite.
Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite type of song?
Favorite song? Oh, God, that's a tough one. I like Creed a lot recently.
Favorite Bible verse?
Favorite verse? Isaiah 6:12.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, which one is it? And the Lord asks, who shall I send? And he stands and says, here am I, send me.
Favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
You beat it with 10 seconds.
Not bad. Not bad.
Haven't had someone fail yet since this year.
Those aren't bad. Those aren't too bad.
You usually have it where your pre-show song, like, so if you're a wrestler and you have a pre-show song that you have on repeat, and everyone's like, I don't even know that one. And I'm like, it's easy for me. It's, can't even think about it right now. But it's a song we sing all the time at church.
Okay.
Thank God, I think it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
By Maverick Church.
So is that one of the songs that you like to have as your intro?
I want to. I got to contact them one day.
Okay. So, was it to get rights or something like that? Is that how it works?
Yes, you got to get copyrights so that when you post it on YouTube, you don't run into lawyers. And
no kidding.
Yeah,
that's how that goes.
Yes.
I did not know
that. How do you build and maintain a strong team culture?
I try to make all my men, and it's not that we wouldn't hire women, but it's just construction is primarily based around men. But I try to make all my men just feel like a part of the family. I don't take them out to dinner as much as I should, but at the same time, small gestures like that, just checking on them, letting them know that, if they need days off or family, things that come up, emergencies. I always try to, I don't want them to ever look at me in the sense of they have to be nervous around me. I just want them to be themselves. I just want them to feel like they can come to me with any type of problem they have. And if they just need someone to listen, I've told them many times, I can be that guy. I can listen to you, whatever problems you're going through.
How do you make an important business decision?
I talk to my wife about it. I pray and talk to my wife about it. That's the biggest thing I can say. She is my soundboard for everything. So, no matter how small it is, she actually, I made her a partner 2 years ago.
Okay.
So she's actually now 49% owner of JM Fence Crafters. And biggest reason for that was more or less just because she was leaving her career with AT&T. And I asked her for a little bit of help because she's very skilled in tech on computer side of just about anything that has to do with running a company. And there's not a ton on our end, considering we're a construction company, but there are a lot of things to manage as far as books and whatnot. So I want her to feel like she could be invested into this as much as I was. And granted, she's been around way before the inception of the company, which we started in 2020. We've been together since 2015. So, it was a gesture. I just really wanted her to feel like it was hers as well and not just mine. And she's my rock without a doubt.
What marketing channels have you been most effective to your business?
Marketing channels.
Like I've noticed you had that. I saw it on the post. You had it with NASCAR on one of the race cars.
Oh yeah, okay. So that honestly, that was one of our larger ones. I believe that happened in 2021 too. Not it's either 2020 or 21. Shortly after I actually started the company. Spencer Boyd, he's actually a local guy, and he's in the truck race series. So he just happened to reach out, and he was in the market for some fencing, and we kind of struck a deal. Got a little bit of ad space on his vehicle when he raced that night in Charlotte. He put us up in the suite with his family and some other individuals, and we were able to enjoy that from one of the box seats. And that was a good one. As crazy as it sounds, I kind of forgot about that. So I'm glad you brought that up. That, and I'd say one of our other larger clients that we've been fortunate enough to land was Bass Pro Shops. So we've done some work at Bass Pro Shops as well right here in Concord, North Carolina. And we've also have a window open for anything in the Southeast region. And this is nothing written in stone, of course. This is something that was discussed between regional managers and myself. But if there's any potential work in the Southeast region, that we would travel and potentially have an opportunity to bid on this projects also.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see your business in the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh, here's a funny one. We'll get that in 1 second, but I want to tell you because Dunkin', we actually did some repair work at Dunkin' Donuts right in Concord. Yeah. Yeah. One of the gates on one of their dumpsters, we had to have rebuilt, and I pulled Josh in for that, my brother. Okay. Yeah. Can see he's a welding guy. But I'm sorry, I went on a tangent. You can ask me that again, please.
So, guys, if you don't know now, he just exposed where my shoot job is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're men of many colors.
Catch me on the ice once a month, doing ice hockey, and a lot of times training in the ring to get back in the ring.
There you go.
Twice a week. Back to that question we were talking about. Yeah. Question was, where do you see your business in the next 5 to 10 years?
Next 5 to 10, ultimately the goal would be a brick and mortar location, which we do not have yet. And I'd say as far as our crew count, maybe 15 employees with 3 installation crews. And then hopefully branch more into the larger projects and commercial projects. Okay. That's where we really want to be. In 10 years, I would hope to be more not 100% hands off, because that's never what I wanted as an owner, but more individuals in the company that can take on some of the roles of what it takes to operate day to day sales, quality control, things like that, to be able to have enough people and to be profitable enough to where you can keep those people employed and then just delegate those tasks. Yeah. That's a big one.
Now, guys, I usually say this for the end, but a big shout out to Wrestling Evolution. They're a big sponsor. That is also where I'm training at, guys, to get in the ring. They also got their show on March 15th. So that's coming up. There's Brittany Jade versus Mila Johnson, which 2 of those girls I'm lucky to have friends, I will say. But Are there any plans to expand your product line or the market reach?
Well, definitely market reach. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to find a way to break into more of that commercial market and larger clientele. More or less, I feel that if you can get into the market of your larger, more corporate type of locations that need fencing and security, high security, once you get into that market, it's easy to stay in.
Okay.
So the hardest part is breaking into it, is just becoming, I don't want to say a household name, but at the same time, to the point where your name travels through the bid ring, and the bid ring's more or less just an online database in a sense of where there are contractors that are listed in a sense, and those that would, refer you and have used you in the past and know you do good work. So that is something that I really want to achieve. Definitely, I'd say within the next 5 years or less. ASAP, really. Residential has really been our bread and butter, and it's how we built our reputation. But the end goal for sure is to probably be 90% commercial work and 10% residential work. And on the residential side, keeping it a lot more of our custom applications, which we really enjoy building, and we have that creative freedom. So that's going to be our big goal over the next, short years.
How do you foster? I'm not even going to say that word because ADHD, dyslexia.
Oh, innovation.
Innovation.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How do you foster innovations with your company? Within your company?
Innovation. Well, and to tell you the truth, there's so much innovation that is currently going on within the industry that I don't want to say that it's completely closed off. But it's one of those situations where you might think, oh, well, it'd be great if they made a tool for this. It'd make this job so much easier. If you jump online, believe it or not, you'll find that tool. So it's really hard to innovate when, I guess, the industry's been around for so long. Yeah. But then you look at companies like Milwaukee DeWalt. They make a power tool for just about any application, any job these days. So I mean, they innovate, but they also have a team of engineers that probably are a little less busy than me. But at the same time, I feel like there's always opportunity for growth. There's always better ways to push your industry forward. If I had an opportunity or was approached by an individual that needed some assistance trying to create a new product, I would be more than happy to offer any type of help or knowledge that I possibly could. Yeah, without a doubt.
What are the most significant trends you see in your industry right now?
Significant trends. Ooh, I'll be funny when I say this, but fast and cheap work. But but no, our market right here in the North Carolina area that we're in, we've just recently, over the past 2 to 3 years, become extremely saturated with just incoming new companies. Folks that are moving from other states that had companies there, but they're relocating due to whichever reason they have, whether it be family or just they like North Carolina. They've saturated our market a lot. So I feel blessed in the sense of when I started the company in 2020 that I was able to kind of get my footing and lay some groundwork to become known for what we are known for, which is a lot of customized work. But as far as I'm trying to think of trends in the industry right now. Well, honestly, there's a fence company out of Indiana. They're actually extremely innovative, and that's going back to your previous question. But they are finding new ways to install. It seems like every other month they've come up with some new way to put a fence in the ground, in a sense. And I mean, typically you think, how do you even approach, installing that fence? Well, you dig holes in the ground, you place your vertical posts in the ground, you set those in cement, and then you move forward with the rest of the project. Well, they're innovating different ways to where they're utilizing post drivers that actually will put these posts in the ground so that you don't have to dig holes. A lot less cleanup, a lot less labor in a sense. You don't have to carry out bags of concrete. So those are trends that I think are catching steam. I don't believe we're seeing them much in our area yet. Here in the next 5 years, I believe that we'll be seeing it much more than we are now. I think that they will catch on.
What advice would you give to someone starting a similar business today?
Be prepared to sacrifice a lot. You will sacrifice a lot of time, a lot of energy. You'll have a lot of setbacks. You'll have a lot of wins, but just be completely 100% in if you were going for it.
Yeah.
Because it takes every ounce of you. It takes extreme determination and will, because you will be tested on many fronts, from home life, personal life, professional life. You will have a lot of hurdles that you have to figure out how to jump. And truthfully, I don't feel like there's a secret sauce. There's an explanation. I'm sure there's a lot of gurus out there that have started multiple companies and made millions, but at least from my personal experience,
yeah.
I would just say that you just have to be extremely determined. And you really have to want it. You cannot go in it, glass half full. You've got to be 100% every single day, and you've got to be on your game.
What are the biggest opportunities you see for growth in your industry?
Biggest opportunities for growth. I'm a little stumped on that one. Not quite sure.
Do we want to come back to that one?
Yeah, maybe we'll come back to it. We'll circle back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What keeps you passionate about your business?
Truthfully, meeting people. I love meeting people. Yeah. I love having conversations with new people. I love meeting those from different walks of life that came up differently than I. And just you'd be surprised at how often you can connect with a total stranger over, a similarity, whether it's you're talking about, your niece, nephews, grandkids, basketball games that you've got to go to over the weekend. You can connect with almost just about anyone. And that is a key component, in my opinion, on just sales, because I also have to handle the sales portion of my company as well. And finding ways to connect with people. It's big to build relationships. You want those potential clients to feel that they can trust you. And what better way than trying to pull and grab at some kind of personal experience, or, a dog that they have, and you had a girlfriend from high school, that same dog, things of those nature, as far as just finding ways to connect.
Yeah.
That's really big.
How do you manage your work life balance as a business owner?
The biggest thing is I try to start early in the day and I try to get everything done by a certain hour. So that's a big one. It's more Monday through Friday is very busy and hectic, but I always try to condense that down into a 10-hour window roughly, to where I have time for the business, but I also have time for home when I get there. It's like we talked and touched on it already. It's very difficult to turn it off, in a sense, when you do get home, because it does follow you. You still have things that you have to get done after hours when you're not in the field or you're not out shaking hands. But that's been a big hurdle. It's been a really big hurdle, to tell you the truth. But it's been a great learning experience.
What is the most valuable business lesson you have learned throughout your career so far?
Have everything in writing. That's a big one. Have everything in writing. Be very transparent about your contract, for instance. Be very transparent on what you plan to deliver for your client and your customer. Make sure that they're on the same page, and also have it in writing. More than one occasion where there was a misunderstanding that we did not fulfill our end of the contract. And this is before this. I had to learn the hard way, but this is before I had everything on paper and had a signature. But at the same time, that's very important, because you'll end up either potentially having a disgruntled client. I almost said employee. You'll potentially have a disgruntled employee. I almost did it again. Disgruntled client to where they felt like they maybe didn't get their full value, and or in order to maintain a good image for your company and maintain a good reputation, that you end up doing some work for free, eating some cost, things of that nature. Which honestly, that I'm very guilty of that. More or less, just trying to always deliver the best product possible.
Yeah.
That's what I set out to do when I started the company, was to be able to just provide a good quality service, a fair service, and at a reasonable price. So that's been a big one.
So back to that question, what are the biggest opportunities you see for growth in your industry?
Biggest opportunities for growth. Well, there's a big thing within the fencing industry that is really caught steam, and it's probably, if I had to guess or theorize it, it would be just more that people are really interested in security with their properties. And this is residential, commercial, of course. You always need security to keep, people out from stealing your goods, or, maybe potentially breaking into an establishment. But even just on the residential side, people are very concerned about their security. So an opportunity, I feel, for our company at least, is to move in the direction of, which is not something that isn't new. It's been around for years, but automated gates, automated openings to where things are motorized, more or less, decorative gate applications, and being able to open those at the click of a button.
Yes.
That's something that I've actually wanted to push this company in the direction of for a long time, but I have not done my due diligence to learn these processes in order to offer them and feel confident offering them. Because I'm definitely the type of person to where I do not go into something and get underwater in a sense, feel overwhelmed to where I do not know how to provide the service that I agreed upon a contract.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have confidence and say, oh, well, I'll figure it out along the way. It's another when you're looking at a multi-$1,000 project and, you're scratching your head. How am I going to get this done? Yeah, there's no worse feeling than that.
Yeah.
And I may have been put into one or two of those situations by yours truly, but at the same time, I learned from those. I learned from those big time.
Is there any questions you got for me?
Oh man, where to start? Well, I know you're big. You're big into wrestling, and you just recently, when we first met at church at the Berg, shout out,
which was 2 episodes ago.
Yep,
with
Pastor Wesley.
Yes,
he's a great guy. He's a great guy. When I met you there, I believe that you were done with wrestling.
Yes.
So you had kind of hung it up, and you didn't maybe have any intention of going back, but then just recently changed your mind. So what's up with that?
So I have a tag team partner. We call ourselves Payne and Shelly Experience, is another podcaster. We go back roughly 4 years, and every time I try to say, hey, I'm not going to do wrestling, I tell him that, he'd be like, hey, no, we started this. This is what we're going to do. So currently waiting on him to get back from his little retreat with his health and everything, which you guys know, it is Austin Payne from the Wild Side podcast, which he went down for some reason you guys know on his stories he posted before he left and everything. So there's that. And then any other questions?
Well, so what's your end goal, I guess, as far as, do you think that wrestling could be a long-term career for you? Would that be a goal for you? Or do you have any other goals in mind for career purposes or anything like that?
So for me, this podcast is like my center, which you know that I talk about it every Sunday.
Yeah.
So
you like to grow the podcast more?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm more into the media and relations side, I like, of wrestling. So recently I've been talking to, sent WWE an email about maybe going and doing their media relations where they have press conferences after the show.
Okay.
And try to interview the people while they're on the stage and answering questions.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, that don't work. At least they'll know who I am by then. So
Hey, I mean, that could be actually a really good avenue
Yeah.
to potentially help your channel out. You know, obviously, practice. It could give
Yeah.
you a lot more exposure to. I mean, if you're doing some sort of media along those lines, yeah, I could see that being a little bit more nerve wracking. A lot of
Yeah.
lights and a lot of big stars, maybe. But
Well, see, they don't see your face; they just see the stars.
okay,
And they just like you'll be yelling, "Got a question for you," and
okay,
all they
okay,
see is the back of the head.
okay, okay. Yeah, could increase some exposure.
Yes.
Well, that'd be really cool. Be really cool.
Any others?
Well, there's a little bit I don't know about you. Where'd you grow up?
Right here in Harrisburg, North Carolina. So
There you go. I'm right out of Charlotte.
roughly 15 minutes down the road.
Yeah, right out of Charlotte. I grew up probably 10 minutes from here for a lot of my life.
Yeah.
A lot of my life. But other than that, man, no.
All right.
We'll just let this friendship grow and I'll learn more about you.
Yep. All right, guys. We will see you next time. Can't think about who we got, but he is a former TNA star, former NWA star, former bunch of others. Can't think of them all. So, see you guys on Friday.